We're lucky here in our region to have a number of companies that are growing and innovating. Here are a few of them to talk a little bit about their company, their innovations, industry trends, and what they look for in new hires. Now we have DuPont.
Innovation is the foundational purpose of DuPont, and we are built to make a difference in the world. We join together with a common purpose, empowering the world with essential innovations to thrive by discovering and delivering results that matter. This is what we do. This is what our stakeholders expect from us. It's how we deliver on our purpose. DuPont's innovation is targeted on high-value needs and aligned with attractive end markets and key customers. Our innovations are focused on some of the world's most complex challenges: connectivity and mobility, health and active living, urbanization and safety. Through our innovation platforms, we make strategic choices, capitalizing on key trends and expand participation to high-growth priority markets while continuously developing capabilities to win. We shape the market by delivering innovative solutions that define new levels of customer expectations. As we continue to focus on innovation, our community of scientists, engineers, visionaries, and all of our partners are working together every day to turn possibilities into real-world answers that help humanity thrive. I participate in DuPont Innovation in my current role as the site leader for the Kingston Technology Center. We are a diverse, multifunctional, multidisciplinary site in Ontario, Canada, with chemists, engineers, and technologists all collaborating together in everything from new product research to process development to materials and application development to small lots manufacturing of strategic, high-value materials for commercial sale or market development. I also commit a portion of my time working with our technology leadership to advance our strategic priorities to attract, develop, engage, and retain global innovation talent at DuPont. The skills I look for in my teams: critical thinking and problem solving, leadership, collaboration, the ability to embrace diversity, having curiosity and initiative, continuous improvement, and effective communication. In DuPont, it's not what you know, but what you do that matters. How you do it is equally important. Having a good work ethic, the passion to make a difference, the desire and ability to learn, these are all qualities that work well for a successful career in DuPont. Let me close by sharing a piece of advice I got from a mentor when I was about to graduate with my PhD and was in the process of deciding what I wanted to do next. He told me to find a job that I love and I would not have to work a single day of my life. I certainly love what I do, and I wish that for everybody else.
Hello, I'm Daryl Roberts, Chief Operations and Engineering Officer here at DuPont. It's my pleasure to be with you here today. You know, if you think about the legacy of DuPont, it's over 200 years focused on innovation. It's the cornerstone of what this company's been built on, is solving big global problems and doing it through the use of science, engineering, and the things that we develop, the things that we make, the way that we operate our sites around the world. I couldn't be any happier about working for this company. If I think about my journey in STEM, I was fortunate enough to go to Howard University and study chemical engineering, and did so on a military scholarship. Then spent some time in the Army as a chemical officer. So again, right away using my technical skills. Then had the opportunity to come out and work for a number of companies really focused on my technical ability around engineering, around understanding plant operations, around understanding things like environmental health and safety, exposure of our operators and protecting them. Those things all came back to my understanding of the basic concepts of science. So on and on throughout my career, I've focused on continuing with my education, as well as continuing my knowledge base through the different types of assignments that I've accepted, all really within the STEM and extended operations fields. If I think a little bit about what STEM means now, when we think about some of the current challenges, when we talk about the struggles we've seen in the US over the course of the last year and a half, and us understanding we need to do more around the topics of diversity, inclusion, and equity. It's a US issue, but it's really a global issue. And we've seen that as the reactions that we've seen from people from Asia through Europe, South America, and Africa, but clearly here in the US. You know, when I think about STEM and what it can do, when I think about the inequity that we see and the ability of STEM education in some of our communities that don't have what other communities have, schools that don't have strong STEM programs, don't have strong fundamentals in science and math. We know that as the economy continues to become more digital, more technically focused, and that manufacturing jobs are slowly reduced over time, and even manufacturing jobs require a higher and higher level of technical skill, that it's so important for us to think about those fundamentals and how we make sure that everyone in this society can contribute. To do that, we need to make sure that people, regardless of their economic situation, regardless of the color of their skin, have the opportunity within their communities to have good teachers, good fundamentals, and have pathways to go forward into STEM careers. It might not be a 4-year degree for everyone, as it has been for many of you. It could be through a trade school. It could be through some type of a program in computer sciences, which may not require a 4-year degree. But us driving education and the access to fair, competitive education, especially around STEM, is a way that we can level the playing field and make sure that all people have the ability to access those things which are important in life, which are safety, housing, the ability to move forward in their careers, and upward mobility from a status standpoint. STEM can be a great equalizer, and I think it's something to think about as we all move forward. If I think a little bit about what we're looking for in professionals, and this is a great opportunity from where you are in your life right now. There's some things that are important if you want to come work for DuPont. One is that you have core values which align with ours. So for us, what we do around protecting people, not just our people, but people that live around our facilities, people that use our products, just the concept of safety. It's been a benchmark of DuPont throughout its history. The second is protecting the planet and making sure that the things that we do from an innovation standpoint, from an operations standpoint, and from a making people's lives better and easier around the world in areas like helping provide safe drinking water for people in Africa and in parts of South America and in Asia. Those things that sometimes in the US we take for granted. We want to be focused on those issues, and that's clearly one of our core values. The third is respect for people. And when we think again about the core issues around diversity, equity, and inclusion, it's making sure that we respect the people that we work with, regardless of their color, their sexual orientation, their gender, that we create an environment with all people feel like they have an opportunity to bring their best selves, their whole selves to work and contribute in a way where they feel valued. Fourth is acting in the highest ethical manner and making sure that the things that we do show in a great light on the DuPont name, on those that we work with, on our families, and that our ethics is the way in which we lead. You know, when I think a little bit about what's important on top of that fundamental, first, it's technical competence, without any doubt. One thing about being in STEM is you'll work with people who know their stuff, who are focused on the sciences and have spent a lot of time understanding the details. But for me, there's two parts to that. It's what you learn in school, and then it's making sure that you've obtained the right experiences to continue to create and build on what you've learned in the classroom. So it's not only doing well in the classroom, but it's making sure that you've taken the opportunity to get some intern or co-op experience, and that when you come in for an interview, you can talk about some things that are practical and not just theoretical. So think about that. And it doesn't always have to be through an intern. Sometimes it's just by being inquisitive. It's reading about other topics as you go through life. You've got to have a team orientation. So we want to make sure that very much you're comfortable working with people. There's very few things that we'll do individually. And I know as you went through the last couple of years, school has changed, and there's a much greater focus on team dynamics in the school environment. You're going to need that when you come to the workplace. It's more critical now than ever as we work remotely, as we find a way to work with people around the world through things like Teams or Zoom or whatever interface you may use, to be able to do that in an effective way and to communicate with people and to find a way to share ideas and to not just think about what you bring, but what you can do to move the team forward. It's how we solve problems at DuPont. It's through the value of the team. It's through understanding what happens in the community, what happens in marketing, what happens in our R&D and our interface with our supply chain and our operations. And by having teams which have all of those skill sets together, it's what allows us to succeed. So you've got to want to work in that type of environment. Maybe last but not least, you've got to want to understand new things and different things. You've got to be inquisitive. So is it important to you to understand what happened recently when individuals in Texas didn't have electricity? Is it important to you when you see an article on the news about some new technology which is going to help with water purification? Is it really important to you when you hear about new STEM academies that are starting up in the inner city and how they're doing Zoom meetings with people in China to drive interaction? If those types of things are important to you, then this may be a place for you, because we want people who are focused on solving big global problems. And you can't do that if you're not truly interested in the things that are happening in the world. We want to understand what's happening and bring technical solutions to those problems to make the world a better place, and to do that now. So thank you for giving me a couple minutes. Congratulations on what you've accomplished from an educational standpoint, and I wish you the best.
Hello, my name is Miyoshi Albain, and I am the site manager for the DuPont Experimental Station located here in Wilmington, Delaware. In the Wilmington area, we have our corporate headquarters and the experimental station located roughly 3 miles from one another. The experimental station is a multi-tenant, multi-business location where for over 115 years, the DuPont company has used science and technology to empower the world with essential innovations to thrive. Since its founding, the experimental station has been a vital engine for our company's growth. Right now, our scientists and engineers are pursuing new discoveries based on our intimate knowledge of market needs, learned by collaborating with our partners. We help our customers solve complex problems, advance their very best ideas, and deliver sustainable, high-performance solutions for markets globally. Founded in 1903, the experimental station was one of the first industrial research laboratories in the United States. The discovery of flame-resistant Nomex launched the development of countless products from a broad scope of industries. Today, the site is transitioning from a predominantly traditional research and development facility to a vibrant science and business development center with a strong focus on collaboration. Research that is now underway could lead to more sustainable electronic vehicles, advanced multi-threat protection for frontline responders, and sensing solutions that enable transformational use cases in healthcare. DuPont is investing in the site now and in the future through renovations that provide innovative laboratory and office space for a whole new era of discovery. In my experience, this location is really home to me. I too was a FAME student going to classes on Saturdays and through the summer at the University of Delaware campus, learning about STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. And through that endeavor, I had a liking to it. I really did. And my first experience working was actually right here at the experimental station, the campus you see behind me. And what I can tell you is that I learned many, many lessons there. I attended Delaware State University, where I majored in chemistry. And it was through that experience and through the internships here at this very facility where I recognized and realized that lab work at that time really wasn't my thing. And so working in the semi-works that we have here, which is a scale-up kind of reactor process, I learned that I had a strong love for engineering. And through the mentorship and through the guidance that I received from the many scientists and engineers here at DuPont, I transitioned to go to Penn State for my graduate work and had a wonderful experience. And coming out of graduate school, DuPont was really where my foundation began, and that's where I wanted to begin my career. And so I've been with DuPont for a little over 20 years, gaining valuable experiences both in the US and abroad. And what I can tell you is that everything that I've learned from fame, from DuPont, has really transitioned me to the woman that I am today. And so from those experiences, what I can tell you is that they were not only invaluable, but the relationships and the culture that's gained in my role as the site manager, I take that and I transition that to every relationship and meeting that I have. So again, I'd like to thank you for listening to me today. I hope that at one point in time you have a chance to visit our wonderful facility located here in Wilmington, Delaware, and I hope to meet you at one point in time as well. Thank you.